What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caleb, and today I wanted to do a video on the difference and a real comparison between the C6 base model Corvette and the C6 Z06. And kind of the reason why I'm doing this because if you're somebody who, like myself, like I was just a couple months ago, you know, if you're looking at purchasing a C6 Corvette, you're gonna have to make this decision. And I was really struggling with this decision, so I wanted to share my experience with it and then kind of go over some of the differences, what you can expect. Obviously, you know, if you're going to be paying a different price point and everything. So that's what we're going to be going over in this video. But before we really get into it, I just kind of wanted to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I really appreciate all of you hitting that subscribe button, that like button. You guys are, you know, you guys are amazing. And let's keep it up on our way to 1,000. So that's awesome. And thank you all so much, each and every one of you. So the Corvette is a great car. It's an amazing, beautiful American machine, and a lot of people are attracted to it because it's a great value for what it is. You know, you really can't get a nice sports car that's not a Corvette for, you know, for like what a Corvette really is. You know, like a sports car, it's got that a two-seater. You really can't get anything like that for anything near what a Corvette's going for. And a lot of people are drawn to the C6 because it's newer, and it's new enough that it has a lot of modern amenities, like the heads-up display. You know, it's got, some of them have digital touchscreen. It has nice, like a nice interior. It has those type of things, but it's not like crazy new to the point where it's crazy expensive. So it's kind of, we're kind of in like a sweet spot now with the C6, and I think that's really cool, and a lot of people are drawn to it. That's one of the reasons why I was drawn to it. Now, a couple months back when I purchased my Z06, I was driving a couple different Corvettes and kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. The first Corvette that I drove was my friend Troy's, the C5. Now, that kind of really gave me the Corvette feel, and I did consider getting a C5 for a little bit, but I was drawn to a lot of the things, like the newer interior, the newer updated everything, as well as like the styling and everything that the C6 has to offer. But driving that C5 really gave me the Corvette feel that a lot of people talk about, and it was awesome. It was a beautiful, fast machine, and it was very, very, very fun to drive. It was completely different than my Mustang. My Mustang kind of felt like a bigger, heavier, fast brick, whereas this is so light, nimble. I feel like it's almost like a little tiny, like, go-kart almost. So then at that point, after I drove the C5, I was kind of in the decision, like, okay, I want to get just a C6 base model. I don't really want to spend the money to get the Corvette, and I'll just put money into upgrades for the C5. I'm sorry, the C6. So the C6, you really have two options as it comes to a motor. 2005, 6, and 7, you have the LS2, which is a 6.2 liter engine. I believe it puts out 400 horsepower, and once they hit 2008, that is when the LS3 comes in, and with the LS3 you also get an upgraded transmission. So I was looking at purchasing something 2008 or above. With the LS3, you're going to get more horsepower, like 20 more horsepower, and a better transmission. So with that 6.2 that the LS has to offer, it's just a better starting point, a better building block. And you know, if you want to throw a boost at it, it's a lot of people prefer that one. So that was kind of where I stood at this point. I wanted to get a 2008 or newer C6. The original color I was looking at was a cyber gray metallic, which actually came out in 2009. It was, I like the color a lot. It's kind of a rare color though, so I was having trouble finding it. And then I shot this video, which was one of my first good videos, I would say. And I drove a C6 Z06. My buddy Marco owns one, and I did a whole video with his on you know, how it was a great value for what it is. And I really got to enjoy the Z06, and then I was hooked once I drove it. I never actually drove a C6 LS3 base Corvette, so once at that point, once I like drove the Z06, it was like, I can't go down from that. And I was really drawn to the Z06 for a lot of reasons. For all the upgraded features that it has, I figured I was going to be putting more money into it to make it faster anyways. I don't want to just put, you know, 5-6 grand into my base C6 to make it as fast as the Z06 when I could just make that initial purchase price, and then I have a completely stock base car to start from, and I'm not throwing all these upgrades in it and really like just better or as good as the Z06. Now, once we step out of the vehicle, I want to give you guys a full 360 and tell you each and every part of the Z06 that is different than the base, so you can really make that decision yourself. And a lot of those things are going to be like aesthetic things as well. It looks a lot better for a number of reasons. And you know, I figured I would rather make this purchasing decision to put a little bit more money in up front than to purchase the car, throw a bunch of money at it, probably end up throwing more money at it just to get it to the point where it was equivalent to a Z06. All right, so now we're gonna walk around the car and I'm gonna show you every portion of the vehicle that's gonna be upgraded on the Z06 opposed to the base C6, and I'll give you kind of a little quirks and features, little Doug DeMuro snippet there about what's different. So let's get into it. Starting right off here at the front. Sorry, my car is very dirty. I was driving down a road earlier today that was like with some developing houses, so I didn't realize that there was more dirt on the road than I expected. Starting off, you have the front bumper. One of the dead giveaways is this grill right here. That is only on the Z06s and the Grand Sports, as well as, you know, the front bumper obviously just looks different. Moving along to the side here. The fenders, both front and rear, are all carbon fiber, and they're also a lot wider. Like you can notice that from the back. Just bloop. Those are a lot wider. You also have these, obviously, you know, you have the badges here, and then the vents, those are not on the base as well. You also have, this is actually it's a small feature, but I really like it on the Z06. This hood, this little indent here on the hood, I think it makes the car look really cool. You know the front hood and then the top here just really flows nicely. I think it looks a lot more sporty, and I really do like that small attention to detail there. Moving along to the back, this does not come on the Z06. The Z06 actually comes with like a tiny little spoiler up top that just goes through the brake light, so it just has a small spoiler, but I do recommend something like this. I think it follows the body line very nicely. Another thing that the Z06 comes with is, obviously it comes with some different wheels, but it also comes with the red brakes. Those are stock, and I think they look really nice on the Z06s. They had a cool little thing going there. Let's pop the hood and take a look at that LS. So behind me, like I mentioned earlier, this has the LS7, 7.0 liter, puts 505 to the crank, which equals out to about 450 to 470 wheel. And a little tiny feature here, this red is also different on the Z06s. The LS2 and 3 do not come with that red panel, so I think that's kind of a cool little feature. One drawback about the LS7 that a lot of people don't like, it's a beautiful motor, it makes a whole lot of torque, and it's very well loved, but they do have a common valve issue that's going to cost you a couple grand extra to fix it, and you really should fix it. So I would definitely take that into account when making this decision. So moving along to the interiors, there's not a whole lot different, but there are just a couple cool little Z06 badges here and there. The first one I like is right here on the gauge cluster on your RPM gauge. It's kind of hard to see there, but just a tiny little badge. Looks nice. I think it does. Tiny little things like that really make a car look better. Also, these seats got a cool little Z06 stitching up there. These are actually amazing seats. I really love the Z06 seats, but I mean, I think that's a cool feature as well. The Z06 also comes with this Bose sound system in here. A lot of people kind of dog the interiors of these C6 Corvettes, but with that sound system, I can appreciate it. I'm not one to have like big subs in my car or anything, but I do appreciate a nice sound system to listen to music when I'm driving, so I really do like that. The base model does not come with that upgraded sound system. So my overall point of this video is really to help you along with what I was going through, and to make the purchasing decision if you want to get a base model C6 or if you want to get a Z06. I think that you're going to be spending about, I would say, 8 grand more. That's probably a comfortable number. You can get a C6 for around 18 to 20 grand, and you can get a Z06 for about 30 plus or minus 1,000. So definitely take that into account. I'd say at least 8 grand more. But considering the front bumper, the fenders, all of them, the hood, the beautiful roof, and obviously the LS7, take into account that valve issue, you know, the new wheels, the brakes, upgraded basically everything, I think it's worth the money. But it really depends on what you want out of your vehicle. The C6 base model is absolutely no slouch, coming with a 0 to 60 time of 4.3 seconds, which is still 0.7 faster than my Mustang. And you know, you can get that for like 18, 20 grand. Like that's still a great car. And if you want to throw boost at it, a lot of people like that because the base model with the LS3, it takes a boost a lot better, that 6.2. So really take that into account when you're purchasing. You know, I wanted something that was going to be like a great all-around car, great on the track, and I do really appreciate that speed factor. It's awesome, and I was ready to get into something that goes really fast, and this is definitely satisfying that. And that's kind of why I forked over the extra couple $1,000s in order to go for something like this. But it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're just looking for a weekend cruiser and you really don't want to spend an extra $8,000-$10,000, then I would definitely go for a C6. But I do want to upgrade this vehicle, and I felt more comfortable upgrading something that I do think is going to keep its value a little better than a C6. I can comfortably put a base C6, that is. I can comfortably put more money into this, knowing that a Z06 will hold its value a little bit better than a base model. You know, a good testament to that is my Mustang. My Mustang is nothing special, it's just a GT. That decreased in value a whole lot, but if I had something of the same year, like a GT 500, then I would be able to keep so much more value in that car. So that is a plus. If you are, you know, putting some more money into it, you're not really gonna get gouged a whole lot on the resale of this vehicle. Z06s are kind of in a sweet spot now where they're cheap enough for a normal person to buy, and they're also a great car for what they are, even overlooking the valve issue. So take that into account. So I really hope this video has helped you all make a decision like that, or maybe you just enjoyed the content. Doesn't matter. I really appreciate you checking this out. My name is Caleb. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get on our way to 1,000 subscribers. I love you all. Thank you so much, and you have a great day, and stay safe.